I got an attitude of gratitude, attitude of gratitude, attitude of gratitude. I got an attitude of gratitude, attitude of gratitude, attitude of gratitude. Look, I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude. 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 Dance, I'm great dance. 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 I'm great. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude. I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude. I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude. I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful. I got an attitude of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. I got an attitude of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. Look. I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude. I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude. I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude. I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude.
Hey. How are y'all doing today? This is Soul Therapy Podcast with Childhood Trauma. We're here with me, Queen Misha, and Taquita Scorpio Sun. How are y'all doing today, ladies?
Doing amazing.
Sister Taquita, can you hear us? Love? Oh, no. Here go the internet acting the fool again. I know they don't want to get this inspiration, but it's all right. Let's talk to the sister. All right, while we get this together, today, every Saturday rising at 9 a.m., we are talking about childhood traumas. Okay, we are trying to heal. We are putting out our information. We are putting out our souls, our hearts, so we can all, stick together and, come up with these solutions. So, yes, we are having some technical difficulties with our sister Scorpio Sun. But Queen Misha, go on and introduce yourself. And we're going to get this right.
All right, well, our sister gets her coming together. My name is Queen Misha, and I own Misha Selling Love down here in Lexington, Kentucky. And basically, what I do is energy work, energy alchemy work. I help with transmuting low energy within the body and aura, transmuting it into a higher frequency, allowing you to flow and be on the path that you're supposed to, not being held down, weighed down by garbage, trauma, things you experience in the daily life. Sister, can you hear us?
All right, Scorpio Sun, you here with us, ladies?
I hear you.
There she goes.
There we go.
All right. All right. Well, introduce yourself so so the folks out there in the world can know who you are.
I'm Taquita. Go by Scorpio Sun on my YouTube page. Because I'm a Scorpio. But I do tarot readings, and I'm here to talk to y'all about this good old childhood trauma.
All right. We're having some difficulties hearing you, love. But that's all right. We're gonna work it out. And of course, you guys know who I am. I am Plump Queen. I am the creator of Inspiration TTV, Inspire Media LLC, and coming up in April, Inspire Media Network. All right. I'm just me. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm a sister. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this media thing, and I'm just using my life as an amputee, as a Black woman, to help others. So everyone can have a fulfilling life. We are all here for a purpose. We are not just here to work and die, pay bills and die, suffer and die. We are not here for that. We are here, to truly fulfill our purposes and thrive. So that is what I do. I just use my life to inspire the world. When I get an official title, I'll let y'all know about it. All right. Okay, so we're still working out these technical difficulties, but we're going to move on. Today's episode, we were going to be talking about our personal ways that we have dealt with our childhood traumas. Our remedies, the things that we've coped with, that we've come up with. And I'm going to let Miss Misha start off, and hopefully by the time we get it together, her cat is in the background, want to be a part of the
Oh,
situation.
listen, I was gonna say I apologize. She's so
No,
spoiled.
no, that's all right.
She is the most vocal cat. That's literally the first thing they said when I got her. They said, "Now this is the most vocal kitty we've ever had here," and she lives up to that. Okay, she
Well,
lets
that's
it be
for
known.
you. We try opening up the throat chakra. She making sure that you need to speak. So everything is
That
good.
is my familiar, most certainly.
All right.
So for
So yes, talk
me,
about you.
well, I guess subconsciously, I always wanted to kind of work through things that I went through or experiences that I went through. And so I found myself a lot of times looking back at situations, not from a victim standpoint, but from a learning standpoint, um, and trying to keep the victim mentality out of situations and traumas that I experienced, but looking at it as an obstacle with a lesson that I was to obtain. So that helped me a lot when it came to exotically. You're gonna have to comment. Come on. Okay, she's gonna join us, you guys. But that helped me a lot when it came to me being able to look at my traumas and events from both sides of the story, from my side and from the person who may have wronged me. And being able to get a clear understanding of what could have made them that way. And so that was one of the main things that's helped me. That is one of the main things that's helped me with my journey is always being able to put myself in the other person's shoe, no matter what no matter what offense was taken towards me, not seeing it as the offense, but seeing it as a soul who's damaged and either here to teach me something or, to learn something for themselves. Also, binaural beats, which is sound healing and sound frequency. I found that YouTube has quite a few inner childhood trauma meditation videos that you can watch when you go to bed and just put your headphones in. And basically, those were really good when it came to the meditations, allowed you to go back into time with your childhood self, with your child self, and basically be that adult, that comforting spirit, and that love that you as a child needed in that time of fear or trauma. So there's quite a few. There's maybe four of those YouTube videos that's specifically for traveling back in time to your childhood self and your inner child and kind of comforting and healing that inner child, being that parent that you needed or that, that support that you needed. Yo.
All right. Oop. Looks like the kitty is taking over. That's all right.
I'm telling you,
We're gonna move on. It's all
on.
right. We're gonna go to Scorpio Sun. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? For sharing that.
Okay, so I wasn't here. What was the question?
We want to know, how did you cope with, I'm saying, your childhood traumas? What are some of your remedies on
So
how to deal with your situation?
the things I've done, I've gone through like a roller coaster of things to do. A part of you kind of like suppress stuff to kind of like, try to forget about it. But one thing is, it's just you're sweeping it under the rug and it just becomes a tower and you have to face the elephant in the room someday. So pretty much what I've done, I know I've been in church since I can remember. My grandma had me in church. So I know spiritually, that's kind of where I went to kind of help with a lot of stuff. Just having faith that it's got to be better than this or life gets better. This can't be it. So just holding on to that faith is kind of pretty much like the base and the core of what helped me get through the things that I've gone through over my childhood. And then, of course, my kids. My kids are definitely my motivation. I got pregnant like right out of high school, so that was like in the midst of me going through things. So it kind of motivated me to kind of get myself together. So in a way, I kind of just like suppressed a lot of it, to be honest, because in my mind, I had to go into mommy mode. So I went from being a child to being a mother. So I had no time for myself to heal, to kind of focus on what I need to do. Um, and so I had to just go into mommy mode and just kind of, I had to adapt this like survivor mechanism, this survivor attitude. And that kind of is what kind of really got me through it. Because in the midst of that, even having children at that young age, I still was going through different things. Um, but like I said, as I got older and, I started to kind of focus more on myself, and I just prayed a lot. And like I said, I just turned to spirit and to God, and I just kept my faith strong in spite of what was going on around me. And then I would say within the last couple years, maybe 3, 4 years, is when I really started to kind of do the work on myself. Um, and I feel like a lot of it, the things that I thought that I may have gotten over, I learned that I just suppressed it and I just kind of kept moving. And then it is true, they say time does heal wounds, but at the same time, faith without works is dead. So yeah, time moves and time progresses, but you still have to do the work to kind of overcome those things, or they'll just keep coming back up. So I feel like that's pretty much the base and the core of how I overcame things. I did turn to tarot a few years ago. I was like in a very like crazy space. My heart was just like, and I turned to tarot, and that's another way. And that's how I learned my gifts and how I learned, different things. And I realized that I was gifted, and that's how I started using that to help others. So again, like everything is shaped and molded for you to become who you are. Had I never gone through those experiences, I would have never turned to tarot. I would never realize I have a gift, and I would never be in this position right now to help others. So it's just part of it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that is pretty much the basis of it, because
Yeah.
that is the same with me. Losing my arm was the reason why I, started my journey on even figuring out that I had, childhood traumas.
Mhm.
Because I didn't think that I did. I knew I came from, a family that had a lot of things going on with them, but I always assumed because, I was happy, I wasn't, my mom wasn't like some of my aunts. You know what I'm saying? I always had food to eat. I always had clothes. I always had certain things. So I didn't really think at first that I had any childhood traumas. I thought I was chilling until actually my mom got married to her husband, and that's when all of at least my feelings of neglect and abandonment came from. And I didn't, until I lost my arm, actually start figuring that out and really touching on it, because I figured I'm alive. I took this well, so I'm Gucci. But then when I started dealing with people, you know what I'm saying, and understanding the type of feelings that I was starting to have, the anger that was coming, you know what I'm saying, that I was developing, over situations and people. And I had to understand where that came from, because I would go through these cycles of being extremely happy and then extremely sad, extremely happy, now extremely sad. Now I'm not bipolar, by no means, but it's just like I can't hold on to happiness because I'm, naturally happy, but it's just always just something, always around this person or having this conversation or talking about this specific thing just riles me up. And that's, there's a reason for that. And those are the things that were stagnating me, I'm saying, as far as my growth, dealing, trying to figure out this platform and all of that, my fears, my, what I'm scared of, all those things stem from that. Like my biggest thing is to fail. That is still something that I work on. I like, when I know something, I have all the confidence in the world. You know what I'm saying? I sell you your own shoes off your feet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I got the confidence to let you know that because I said it, they better,
Right.
you know what I'm
You
saying?
got to.
But when I don't know something or when I have lack of knowledge, I get very insecure because I want to do it right. You know what I'm saying? I want to impress, the people who care about me, who are proud of me, who've put energy into me, and I don't want to let them down. I'm really a lot of times worried about other people and how they, what I'm saying, how they perceive me in certain ways. And I've had to deal with that, what I'm saying, a lot. And it's like you said, I have to take accountability for my feelings on why I feel certain things. I had to forgive my mom, forgive my aunts, forgive whoever I felt did something to me, my biggest thing was understanding the why. That is the biggest key, to me healing from the things that I've dealt with. Understanding why people do the things that they do, say the things that they say, and feel the way that they feel. And understanding that most of the time it has nothing to do with you. Hurt people hurt people. So they treated me this way, not because of something wrong with me, not because I actually did something. It's because of how they're thinking about themselves, about their lives, and they're trying to transfer that on to me. So understanding that I don't tolerate it, but I have a different response. I don't allow it to emotionally affect me and get me upset and off my game, because that doesn't serve me. So doing that shadow work and just letting go.
I think
letting go.
that's the main thing. And I think that there's a special power in realizing that when you have traumas, things are going to trigger you. And it's up to you to either trigger yourself and figure it out, or allow environmental circumstances and people or relationships to trigger you. And when you aren't in control of when you're triggered or what triggers you, then, or when you don't know what triggers you, and you just randomly are allowing people to trigger you through their self-reflections and projections, like it's a lot more sticky of a situation compared to recognizing, hey, I went through this. I should think about it. I should think about how it made me feel. I should think about, how it's affected my life right now and how I can get past it. Like, that's something else that I've done a lot of, is like, it's kind of like crazy in my head to think about it. Like, it's kind of crazy, but it's not crazy to like intentionally kind of cause yourself that emotional stir up so that you can go ahead and get the work done. And so that's been another big thing, is triggering, making sure that I'm the one triggering myself when it comes to my traumas and stuff. And if someone else does trigger me, making sure that I don't see it as them triggering me, but as just a trigger, releasing that emotional attachment to the person or the situation, and actually just seeing that there's work that needs to be done.
That's a fact. That is definitely a fact. Another thing I've also have done, like Scorpio Sun said, getting into spirituality. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to knock, nobody's religion, but for me, spirituality was key for me. Understanding that there is a higher source, there is a source to everything, but also understanding that I'm a part of that source. I'm connected to that source, not necessarily the source is just hovering over me, controlling me like a puppet. It's more so, it's a connection, like the source is the tree and I'm the branch kind of thing. So because I understand that, I have respect for spirit, but now I also take accountability. When you deal with spirituality, it takes away from the pointing the fingers and blaming other people. It takes away the blame game. You know what I'm saying? We always blame other people. And don't get me wrong, that's not to say that those people haven't done anything, said anything, you know what I mean? But what you got to understand is that it's not personal. That's not your problem. What people think, what people do, it's not your problem.
And the victim mentality can only get you so far. Absolutely. It may work within the first, year. It may work even within the first 3 years, 4 years going through a situation. But keeping a long-term victim mentality never is the end result. You can't prosper. You can't do the highest score.
Yeah, you're the common denominator in all of those situations. For some reason, you keep attracting that type of energy, those type of situations, those type of people. It always starts from self. If you are an angry person, you are going to attract angry people. You see what I'm saying? If you always got it on for somebody or ready for the disrespect, guess what? You're going to invite that disrespect because that's in the forefront of your mind. That's all you're thinking about. That's what you're setting up your life for. You know what I'm saying? So it's the choices that we make. You know what I'm saying? The people that we choose to be, we choose to deal with and be with. A lot of the times we hurt ourselves because we're looking for something in someone else. We're expecting somebody to fix us. We're expecting somebody, well, if you love me this way, or if you do this for me, then I will be better. Then I will heal. It don't work that way. Healing is a personal process. Other people can sprinkle a little this here and sprinkle that over there, but you gotta walk that. Them your shoes, it's your road, and you have to walk it, and you gotta make those decisions. So no one controls your life but you. You
Mhm.
choose how you react to certain things, how people talk to you. Don't get me wrong, I don't like being disrespected. That's one of my pet peeves because I'm a nice person. So when you try to come for me, that's a whole problem because I ain't the one to come for. It's not necessary. So if you're coming for me, problem. But I gotta understand though. You got to understand. Most people who try me is because they either are envious of my energy, you know what I'm saying, or they don't like the truth that I'm telling them. None of those things have anything to do with me.
Mm-mm.
So I'm not going to get out of pocket. I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying, get into a negative space. I'm not going to allow anyone, you know what I'm saying, to control my emotions. And that's what we tend to do. When you say that person hurt my feelings or you did this to me, no, you are choosing to react to that person that way. You either identify what's being said, you know what I'm saying? Most of the time, we don't like our mirror. Somebody say something that really hits home, a hit dog, a holler. Most of the time, that's how that goes. So instead of getting upset with the other person, understand why. Why did that bother me so much? What is it about that person or what that person said that just rocks my spirit so much?
Right,
That's
right.
the question you have to ask in the moment. It's hard, y'all. Trust me. I know.
Hmm.
But you'll see just how, you know what I'm saying, how much you create your own problems by worrying about and caring about unnecessary things. You know what I'm saying? Talk is cheap. I'm gonna keep it real. Act is all about that action. People gonna have their opinions. We all got opinions of everybody. Everybody sees somebody's life and you can find pinpoint what can change. And it's real easy to dictate somebody else's situation than your own. So holding myself accountable for my, for my emotions and the decisions I've made, that has helped me, you know what I'm saying, with these traumas. It's helped me with my relationships, you know what I'm saying, like especially with my mom. Most of my stuff comes from my mother, and her and I have a much better relationship because, don't get me wrong, I've expressed to her how I feel about the things she's done or said, but I also hold account myself accountable for my feelings. I felt a certain way as a child. I had my right to feel that way, but I'm an adult now. I have a different perspective on life. So I have to, you know what I'm saying, I have to act accordingly. I have to understand my mom is a human being. You know what I'm saying? She went through childhood traumas. As a matter of fact, she went through worse shit than I did. You know what I'm saying? And she survived and did a great job with me. Even with my issues, she did a great job. So I can't overly just be extra, just like, oh, you did this to me and oh, you ruined my life. No, that ain't true. And I'm saying I've seen worse. I tell my mom all the
Right.
time, if I had to choose again, you know what I'm saying, who my mama was, I'll choose her again. Abandonment
Hmm.
issues, no, because I've seen worse. I've so seen worse. So holding yourself accountable is the biggest key, and that's the hardest thing to do when you're dealing with traumas and hurt feelings and all that. But that is the biggest thing: holding yourself accountable for your actions and the decisions that you make, and doing better afterwards. Changing those decisions, trying to come from a logical standpoint instead of an emotional standpoint. Coming from one of the most
Right.
emotional peoples on this planet. I ain't even a Pisces, but let's say I'm not even a water sign, but I am extremely emotional. So yeah, balancing that out, you really need my eye with that, and it'll definitely help.
Yes, a law of attraction as well. Because I, when you were talking about that, like I'm learning more about the law of attraction and things like that, and just knowing that the energy that you put out, that you will receive. And so it just made me think about just my mindset and how I would look at things, like just always having this not necessarily pessimistic attitude, because I'm very optimistic about stuff, but always having this like worst case scenario kind of thing going on. So it's like when you expect the worst, it's like the universe is like, oh, okay, this is what you want, so this is what I'm going to give you. And I'm also a firm believer that God, the universe, source, whatever you believe in, will constantly continue to send you the same thing. Whether it's in a different person, it doesn't matter. It will send you the same situation over and over again until you recognize what it is, and you look in the mirror and you kind of talk to yourself and be like, okay, what is this? Like you have to realize, have to figure out, what is this trying to teach you? Because I have dealt with a lot of different situations, and I realized, especially like a lot of people would come in in my life here and there, and I'm like, this is the same situation I just dealt with. It's just a different person. And what I've realized is the more that this situation keeps happening, I recognize it quicker. Like I'm on it. Like, okay, I know what this is. Okay. And then I cut it out and I keep it moving. And I feel like when the universe, source, or whatever, God, sees that, they realize like, okay, this person, he or she knows what's going on. They've learned their mistakes. They learned this lesson. They recognize whatever this trauma was. And now it's, and moving on to the next. So it's a process of healing. And it sucks that you have to constantly keep going through something, but it's just the universe's way of trying to open up your eyes to something that you're just not seeing, to help you kind of heal from those things. And some people, they just go down a rabbit hole and they just don't see it, they don't recognize it, and they, or don't know how to deal with it, and they think the worst, and then they kind of adapt this mindset of like, woe is me, or start to get pessimistic, and again you start to attract that same energy back in. So again, like, I'm just very like key on mindsets. Like, I'm the same way as you, okay, Terrence? Like, I'm very emotional. I'm a water sign, so I'm very emotional, and I've always been that way. And so my feelings get hurt real quick. And like, I can hop in my emotions real quick. Like, if something happens, I'm like, dang. Like, and I overanalyze something because I'm a Gemini rising. So I always like overanalyzing stuff and like, dang, well, did they mean this by that? Did they mean? And then like, I would like think something over in my head until I'm just like checked out. So it's like all about finding that balance and not being so analytical, not being so emotional, but just kind of finding that balance and staying grounded and kind of, again, taking accountability. Like, okay, yeah, this person said that, but what about, like you said, what about that is triggering me? Why am I so upset that that person said that? Why am I so upset that this person did that? And then also, not putting so much emphasis or so much energy and accountability in others. Like, a lot of times we just latch on to others, and if that person moves wrong or moves differently or switches up, our emotions and stuff switch up. The main thing is to be connected to people, but not allowing who that person is and what they do to change who you are and your feelings and your actions. And I'm learning that, because it'd be times where can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So can't you just not allowing others what they do and what they decide to do, what they don't do, to kind of change who you are, make you feel some type of way about yourself. Because that's when you're putting too much emphasis on that connection or that relationship, no matter what it is, whether it's your mother, your father, your
Right.
children, your significant other. So, sometimes you have to kind of like pull back and be like, dang, why I'm getting too, and that is a struggle, because I've been in
Sure.
situations where I've been so attached to somebody, and it's just like they, whatever, it's like I'm just on it like white on rice. And so, me being by myself for so long, I recognize those things, and it's like, okay. And then it's funny when the shoe is on the other foot and you have somebody be on you like that, that's so attached to you. It's like a mirror, like, I promise, it's a mirror.
You don't like it.
It's like the universe sends
It
it
ain't the
to you.
one you want. I
So
know.
you can be like, oh shoot, is that how I look? Is that how I be acting? Oh no, let me switch this up real quick. Cause it literally happened to me. Like, I was like, oh, I want this, da da da. And then the universe was like, okay, here you go, got it. And then I was like, oh no, that's not what I want. I hope that other people don't look at me like, oh, she's doing that. And so like, it just makes you just change your whole mindset and just be like, oh yeah, that's not it. I'm putting too much emphasis on this connection. I'm too attached. I'm too like, but what about it is making me want to cling on to it? And then I learned myself that it was, one of them was abandonment issues, and feeling like I need somebody there. Like, I don't ever want to be in a connection with somebody where my love or my feelings or whatever is based off the dynamic of that relationship, how it's going, if it's up, if it's down, or whatever. I want to continue to always be myself. and love myself unconditionally no matter what, and not have be in those deep feelings. So it's just a lot of like recognizing stuff, seeing stuff, changing your perception. And then a lot of it is other people. Your relationships with other people will allow you to see who you are, and you can learn a lot from other people, even if those situations don't last, whether it's friendships that can come in and leave, but you get something from it. So I never like look at any connection. I don't care if we just talk for 2 weeks or whatever. Like I never look at any connection like it was worthless. Like I look at it like, okay, I learned something from it, whether I learned something for myself. And sometimes isn't that, the universe doesn't put that person in your life for you. Sometimes it's for them, so like the universe is just always using, it's just a one big circle. So you have to look at it like that, because sometimes people come in my life and I'm like, what the hell? Like, and every time like somebody is on their way out the door, I'm like, what was the point? Like, what did I learn? And if I realize that I didn't really learn or pick up anything, I'm like, okay, well, maybe the universe used me for that person. You see what I'm saying? So, and you just keep going, just a cycle.
Well, I got two good examples of what you just talked about. One with my relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and one with a group that I'm a part of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Lighthouse member. Shout out to the Lighthouse, all my family members. They were, I'm going to just put it on out there since we talk about traumas, they were my replacement family. I have a lot of issues with my family because of the lifestyle change that my mom made. So that was a discord since I was 9. I've had this discord, with families. My mom switched her religion, adopted a whole new family. And then that family didn't turn out, properly because of decisions that were made and all of that jazz. So growing up, I felt like I lost both of my families, both my biological and the one that I was told that I was supposed to have. So this is why I cling on. I won't necessarily say I'm a cliquey person because I can be by myself, but I'm all about people. So when I joined the Lighthouse, I went in full force. These are my family, and they still are. Love, love, love them even more now, and now in a more healthier, way. Because whenever there's a discord with one of them, or we have a different thought process of something, I get bent out of shape. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how they deal with it, on their own, but I get bent out of shape because those are my sisters, those are my brothers. We don't need to be on a Discord. We have the same mindset. This doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? And it just makes me feel, it made me feel like I'm potentially losing my family again. I have to be by myself again. And that really worked, worked on my emotions last year. That was really the one of the biggest things of the shadow work that I had to do, was having a healthy detachment, understanding that that doesn't make me disloyal. It doesn't make them disloyal. It doesn't mean that we don't care about each other or love each other, but we come into each other's lives for reasons. But everybody's journey is on their own. You know what I'm saying? I have my life and the things that I have to do, and each one of the Lighthouse members have their things that they need to do. You know what I'm saying? And I cannot take those things personally. You know what I mean? And at first I did. Now I'm the type of person, I don't like discord with my people. So I go within, I try to figure it out on my own. It fucks with my emotions, but you know what I'm saying? I do not like being in a discord with the people that I care about. Like if we ever, have an issue or whatever, we gonna have to work that thing out. It's not going to, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be, oh fuck them. This is not, nah, like, because I care. When I get attached to you, I care about you. So we need to fix that. And it stems, from my, my attachment issues. But it's a healthy, balance, because I am responsible for my own life. I am responsible, for my journey. It is my job, to make sure that my purpose is fulfilled, and I know the universe is going to send whoever is needed when they are needed, to facilitate that. And if they move on or don't do something, that wasn't their job, that wasn't their space, and that's not a bad thing. And I had to really, really learn that last year. And then as far as my relationship goes, I still continuously learn that. I've been in this year will be 13 years, but my man was a replacement for my mother. You know what I'm saying? I was the only child for a long time. First 9 years of my life, my mom doted on me. Everything was about me. And she got married, and he had three other children, well, four other children. So that went from me being the only child to being one of five. And then we were in a polygamous situation. So then you had two women, two mothers in the situation, and all those emotions and, all the stuff the adults were doing that honestly they ain't had no business doing, and whatnot. And how, what I'm saying, that made me feel, I felt like, at some point that he stole my mother from me. I'm saying, my stepdad. That's how I felt, because my whole life, my mom catered to me and my needs and what I needed. And now she just split that with five, six other people. You know what I'm saying? And I always felt like I was the short end of the stick. So then when I got into this relationship, I was expecting him, what I'm saying, to put me first, like my mom put her man 1st.
Mhm.
That's what I was expecting. Because now when you're in a relationship, this is what I saw. So when you're in a relationship and you get with somebody, you're supposed to put all your time and all of your energy into them, and everybody else comes second. So whenever I felt like I wasn't a priority, anytime I felt like I was being put second in my relationship, I would get into an emotional roller coaster. All this crying and depression and smoking up all my weed and, you know what I'm saying, just doing all this extra unnecessary stuff. You know what I'm saying? Based off of my, feeling abandoned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and as these years going by, you know, it's just so funny. Me and my king don't argue. As a matter of fact, he just allows me to express myself, and he try to love it away. And what he don't really, saying, God try to go back and back and forth with me. But after we, kiss, make up or whatever, and I have my time to be by myself and think about it, I always come back and apologize. I always apologize to him for just being extra, because it's not really about what he did or didn't do. It's based off of how I'm perceiving what he did or what he said or didn't do.
You know, one thing, you got to learn each other's love language.
Yes.
Everybody loves differently. You know, some people do it with acts of service. Some people do it with words of affirmations or confirmation, physical touch and feelings and things like that. So you just kind of got to learn people's love language. You know, some people don't love the way you love, and it does not mean that they don't love you. It just means that they love differently. So once you realize or you find out, what that person's love language is, it makes it easier to navigate the relationship. And that's one thing that I'm learning as well, because, everybody don't want to touch and feel and be all, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean that they don't love you. So like me, I'm all about touchy feely, give me a hug. I want to, whatever. And so I'm all about like that closeness, I guess it's just the water energy in me. So I'm very emotionally. So I just like to be all loved up and stuff
That
like
mushy,
that.
she like all that mushy gush.
Yes, I like all that. So like if I feel, and I learned that, like when I would be in connections with people, I'm like, okay, if they're not touching me, if they're not, flirting with me or whatever, I'm like, they don't like me or they don't love me or they don't feel this way about me. So it triggers me and I'm like, okay, so now I'm in my feelings and I'm like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? But then it's just like, and then you got to get to a point where you got to stop, suppressing your feelings or stop just not speaking up. And that's another thing, like I said from last episode, about me speaking up and just being like, okay, I feel this way. And instead of acting out in anger and frustration, I'm not getting it, just kind of be like, hey, I'm not feeling it. Like, what's going on? Like, I want this, I want whatever. And just expressing in how you feel when you in a connection or in a relationship, even it doesn't matter, even a friendship. I remember a long time ago, me and my best friend, we've best friends to this day. We've been friends since I was like in ninth grade, maybe about 20 years now. I think it's 20 years to this year. Yes. Actually, we need to take a trip, but um, so like we've been best friends. I remember we were in high school, I mean, maybe 10th, 11th grade. It was a situation going on to where her and her sister was doing something. I really vaguely remember what it was, but they were saying something to make me feel some type of way. And I was like scared, again, timid, shy, don't want to speak up. And then I just said it. I was like, hey, This is making me feel this type of way. My best friend, she had to have talked to her sister and said whatever, because the next day when we met up, when we was at lunch, nobody mentioned it. It just completely ceased. It stopped. It never happened again. And that right there is like love. That right there is like loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Because when you express something to somebody and they actually do something to change it because they know it makes you feel some type of way, then that's real love, instead of like lashing out. And people would be more responsive to you talking to them and being genuine than doing all that rah rah, because they're going to be looking at you like, what the, you know what I'm saying? So you'll get a better response that way. And that was the only ever time that me and my best friend ever had any kind of like anything. And we've been best friends for 20 years. And so, it's just little things like that, just depending on who you are dealing with. When you tell somebody how you feel and they look at you and they like, you tripping, you need to da 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 da. Mm-mm. That it's something with them. It's something going on with them, and they triggered by something, and that person probably don't even need to be in your life. Because if somebody truly loves and cares about you, when you express your feelings to them, they either gonna be like, okay, we gonna do this, we're gonna try to figure it out. And they're gonna want to do that, because they care about you, they love you. But when they look at you and they like, okay, you tripping, whatever, next, yeah, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta, yeah. And so you just gotta kind of change your mind. Like I said, just figure out your love language with your relationships with people, whether it's with your children. I have 3 kids. So like my one son, my youngest, he's like all lovey-dovey. He always wants hugs and kisses. He's just like so lovey. And he's a water sign too. My daughter, she's kind of in the middle. She'll come and give me hugs sometimes. She'll talk to me, whatever. My oldest son, I don't see him unless he wants something. Okay. And he's an air sign. So, like, and I understand, like, other people love differently. He loves me. I know he does. He's very protective. I see it like when something going on, he'd be like, Ma, he's very protective. So like, but my youngest, he's just like, oh, he just want to be all over me all the time. And I'm like, so you just have to find that balance in your relationships, learn the love languages that you have with your loved ones, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, mother, father, and just go off of that. And it would definitely better help navigate y'all relationships. Definitely.
Okay. Now, to tie that into your childhood traumas, clearly this is something that's not taught
Mm-hmm.
as children. And I'm going to implore to the parents to do this.
Yep.
Y'all parents don't understand how you relate to your love language, how you relate to the opposite sex and other people. You're teaching your children how to do the same. So the dynamics of your relationship in the home, or if you're a single parent and you have different relations, you have to really be careful with that, because your kids don't listen to you. They watch what you do. So if you and your significant other relate to each other like business people, like it's just a transaction and there's no passion and no love and all that, you kind of teaching your kids that's how they relate.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they're supposed to act around each other. But if you come from a home where, mommy and daddy slapping ass and you catch them kissing in the kitchen while, mama making the sauce, the tomato sauce, you know what I'm saying? Or you're bringing flowers to, I have a homeboy, his father used to send his wife flowers every week for the whole 20 some odd years that they were married.
Aww.
Every week when she would go to work, she would have a bouquet of flowers, waiting for her, at her job. And of course, as time went on, delivering it and all that other stuff. But either way, he kept that up. My friend to this day, he's married. He does that for his wife. He'll even call me up and ask me what color I should use. I'm a female, so do you like this? Does this look nice? Because that's what he saw. So you have to teach your children, love language. You got to teach them, what love look like.
Because it looks different for everybody.
It's different for everybody. So understanding the people that you with, honestly, and this is where dating kind of comes in. You got to figure that out before you get all wild up into the sex. I'm actually watching the show with my best friend right now on Netflix.
What is it called?
Man, I want to call her in here right now to tell me what it
I
is.
need to know. I need
It's a
to.
reality to something. I'm gonna find it,
I
and
think I know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna post it on social media when I finish. But it's a reality TV show supposed to be about dating. They got these six young people on this pretty island thinking that they come in there to do a whole bunch of fornicating and nastiness. But in fact, they have to be celibate. The whole point of being in here is to not have sex. There's $100,000 prize at the end, but you have to get through these 30 days without doing anything sexual. So the point is to try to build actual what's the word I'm looking for? Ooh, brain farts. Significant, you know what I'm saying, connections and relationships outside of sex. Substance, that's the word I'm looking. Having substance, finding substance in these relationships. Now, of course, it's a whole lot of fluff and all this extra stuff, but what people don't understand it, like that is what's missing. You know what I'm saying? We don't date anymore. We live in a time where, you know, we're on the internet. So you can meet people, you know what I'm saying, in a whole nother country. You know what I'm saying? Have no idea who they are, what they really look like, or none of that. Which back in the days in your community, everybody knew everybody. Everybody knew everybody's parents. Everybody knew the childhood traumas that everybody was dealing with. So you kind of had, you know, understood who you were dealing with when you got with them, which is part of the reason why their relationships lasted a lot longer. Don't get me wrong; they had issues and they had you know, a sense of you got to stick with the relationship regardless of what. But they still had a different mindset about. They knew who they were with. They knew the family, so you knew what you were getting into. It ain't like that, but so much these days. You can find a person, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not the same. So you really got to get to know who you're dealing with and who you're exchanging energy with. And you got to teach your kids that. That will eliminate so many issues. You know what I'm saying? So many decisions that don't need to be made if you understood how to do that. If you actually got to know who you're dealing with, like on the show, everybody all hot and bothered. Oh, I want to kiss, so I want to do this. Then they get to talking because they can't do nothing else but talk. Now you see all the annoyed faces, all the hair flips. Like, ugh, I don't like him. But you was about to smash last night. Yeah. You was about to. You was about to get it in, but now today, now you getting to actually hear what this person has to say and what's early in their mind and what they really thought process, and it's just like, ooh.
Yeah.
How many people you want to sleep with if you actually took the time to find out who they were?
Girl, that part. That part.
I think in order to do that though, it's crucial. Like you gotta know yourself first.
Yeah.
You know, half of them don't know they self first, so it's hard for them to actually be able to get to know someone else when they haven't done the work to get to know themselves. You know, so the only thing they know is to operate out of that root chakra and that lust energy, because they haven't did the work to actually see what stimulates their mind, what kind of conversations it turns them on, you know, what kind of activities outside of sex are they actually passionate about. Like, you know, a lot of people say they like long walks on the beach, you know, and picnics, but that's the generic answer, you know. Like I personally,
sex.
I'll take hiking, you know, any day. Like I love being outdoors. I'll be looking for the outdoorsy guy, you know, or the guy talking about spiritual stuff, talking about some aliens or something completely different from everybody else. Yeah. So I think that's the key, is in order for you to find and be able to learn another individual to enter a relationship, you have to first take that time to learn and heal yourself and know what you want fully on all aspects. Because like over time, like I was married at 20 and I learned real fast, and I'm now an advocate that you should not get married at 20.
I agree. I agree.
I understand now why the older people say, you know, you don't get married that, or some of them tell you to get married that young. But I believe that it is crucial when you have been in survival mode as a child, and then you enter your adolescence and your young adulthood life, that you take time for yourself to breathe. You know, if you can make it into your early 20s without a child, which I was a mother at 16. So, like, I didn't have that, but that was okay because I have my parents who were just phenomenal at helping me with my daughter, which gave me a little bit more time to heal and think about what I needed to in regards to myself. But it's crucial to take those early years of your life and go ahead and do as much healing and self work and figuring out what your passions are, what your purpose is, figuring out what drives you, and then integrating that with someone that eventually you take the time to get to know them for who they truly are. See where they healed, where they haven't healed, see what drives them, where they're stagnant. Um, yeah, I think that in order to have a successful relationship, um, you take the time to get to know that person. But if you just taking the time to get to know that person and you still don't know yourself, then that relationship will never be at its most optimal. You know.
That is so true. I actually was having a conversation with my daughter, who's only 13, and my son, who was 16, about that. I don't know what happened. We seen it was something, I don't know if it was somebody else or something we saw on TV, but I pretty much said the same thing. I said if I wanted to be married like at 25 and all that, and like 10 years later I'm gonna be 35. Like I'm like, no, I'm glad I never got married that young, because like you said, you just you don't even know who you are, and you ready to commit to somebody else, and hell, do they know who they are, so I mean, now of course, yeah, because I feel like I've done the work, you know what I'm saying, and hopefully the person coming in, whoever that may be, has done the work as well. But yeah, definitely, that's definitely too young. Just like me, like like you said, us as teen mothers, we didn't even have a chance to get to know ourselves. That's another part of it. We went straight from being kids to being mothers, or parents or whatnot. So again, we still didn't get a chance to learn who we are, what we want in life.
Right, because those are just titles. That's not
Yeah,
who you are. That's just a
right.
responsibility
It
or a
is.
role that you've been given along with who you truly are in your core.
Yeah.
And so I think that's definitely where a lot of people get it mistaken is they don't teach their children to be like I've always taught my daughter, you dress as you want, just make sure it's weather appropriate, don't and classy, which that went without saying with her, thankfully, because she's a Cancer. But like, be who you are, figure out who you are, and then be that and be proud of it. So there's some, I don't know, there's. Well, that thought went all the way out. I went all the way into something else. But basically, yeah, that's what it is. It's just about being able to self-identify as early as you can, because you got people who are 40 and 50 who still don't know what they like to do in their free time. You got so many multi-millionaires who go and they win they don't win the lottery. A lot of them work hard for their money. But either way, they become multi-millionaires and then they just retire from whatever made them that money and then get a smaller job. Like, how many janitors or how many custodians, how many people or teachers or coaches, are doing something, have a job, but they really don't need to be working. They don't have to work. They just don't know who they are outside of work. They don't know who they are outside of serving other people. So it's like when you can take the time to do that, you save yourself
a lot of headache.
Major cycles.
Yeah, definitely want to get to know people.
I feel like me losing my arm was the way for the universe to do that for me, to make me sit down and figure out who I am. And now whatever I do career-wise or financial-wise is going to sow into who I am. So I'll be fulfilled too. Because you're not making money is great, multi-millionaire, all that stuff, but that's really not why you were born. You are really not born to work a job. You know what I'm saying? And just, buy expensive things and then retirement is not what you're here for. You retire when you die. As long as you're alive, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be doing something, learning something, building something, creating something. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're living, you're not just supposed to be chilling, just being wasteful. So innately, that's what you want to do. That's why most older people that say the biggest killer of the elderly is retirement. It ain't old age. It ain't even sickness. It's because now they feel like they don't have a purpose. I done worked my job. I done raised my kids. My grandkids are probably raising their kids. So what else is there for me to do in this life? So they check out. But if you, fulfill your purpose to, until the very last end, You know, Betty White is a good example of that.
Yeah.
That woman worked all the way till she was 99. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you want to go out. You know,
Yeah.
that's how you want to go out, doing what you love, knowing who you are, and doing what you're supposed to do. That's success.
Because I feel like when you living in your purpose, when you're working in your purpose, you don't really look for retirement. Because you know that's your whole mission. That's the whole reason you're here. So why retire from your purpose when you know that that's what your life mission is.
That's right. Exactly. So we gotta tap into that. And I understand it's hard. We live in this world where you gotta have a job, you gotta pay bills. So I'm not saying that just completely just say, okay, F everything and then fall off the face of the earth. Not
I
telling you.
did though. I did do that.
I mean, if you can do it,
I
by
left
all
my
means,
ex-job.
I'm not gonna knock it. Right? Gonna knock
that's
it.
it. Like,
I'm not gonna knock it, but realistically, most people can't do that. So if you can't do that, you got to start off small. Start with little things, and it starts with your mind. Changing your
takes a lot of faith
about what's really important, what you actually need in your life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't live good, but you know what I'm saying? Change what you think living good is. Like some people look at my life and think I don't live good because I don't have a car. You know what I'm saying? Because I have Section 8 and there's certain things that I can't do. But I'm successful. I'm practically depression proof. The government take care of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to pay car notes and this is and that and the third. You know what I'm saying? I eat well. I smoke every day. You know what I'm saying? I get to where I need to go. I'm buying land in Africa. I own a business. You know what I'm saying? So it's really on your perception of what it is. There's a lot of people who are driving these ill cars. You spending $500 on a car note, but that can be taken away.
Well, life is about what you make it. You have to make your own heaven on earth. And like what my success and what I want, what life or whatever success is to me may not be what success is to you. Everybody has a different purpose here, in life in general. I know what I want for myself, but somebody can be just okay with just doing whatever they do, and that's fine. I'm not going to judge you if that was what makes you happy. If you feel fulfilled doing that, hey, do that. More power to you. So it's just success is, like you said, it's all about perception in your mind frame. And as long as you're happy with what you have going on, who cares? Like, do you?
My ideal
Every
life,
journey is different.
Yeah.
My ideal life is to be in the Amazon, living off, growing my own food, make sure I got that good well water or good old ocean, you know what I'm saying, that I can walk to. I will figure out how to balance that bucket on my head. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
I promise you. And you know what I'm saying? And just, doing my platform so I can, help people. That is my ideal life. I don't need cars, clothes. You know what I'm saying? I prefer to build my house.
Yes.
Yes. Videos of these native people in the Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Who build houses out of bamboo,
out of dirt
and shit, out of dirt and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Dirt.
And they chilling like, yo, that's my ideal life. Straight up, that is my ideal life.
I want a big old compound. 3 sister wives, 20,050,011 children. Like all the kids. I want all the kids, y'all. I'm telling you. And like you said, self-sufficient water, well source, a garden. Like I don't want grocery stores. I don't need the mall. I don't need car lots. I just need a herbalist, some women willing to have babies. Very simple stuff. I would love to build my first home. So it's like, that's what about you, Quita? What's your long-term goal?
I look. Of course, I definitely want to be married. I want a husband. I don't know if I want more kids. If I do, it's only gonna be one. I got 3. My oldest will be 16 in a couple of weeks. I ain't trying to really
that's a big
so like I'm like in a couple of years all y'all gonna be grown and out of here. So I don't know if I want to start all over again. But if it's in God's will, then whatever. But of course I want to be married. I want to be successful. I want to have residual income so I don't have to constantly work 9 to 5. I still do want to work and put in work in the community and do stuff to give back to people. I want to travel. Like, that's like the main thing that is like calling for me, is to travel. I want to go different places. I want to show my kids different cultures and different things like that. So I just want to, like, if I can do something where I'm just traveling and just doing the work, giving back and helping others and just living comfortably. Like, I ain't gotta be making $50 million or whatever. I just want to live comfortably to where ain't worried about no bills and nothing. Everything is being taken care of. My kids is good. Like, that's that. I'm happy with that. That's me.
Well, let me help you with that. I'm a travel agent. So we're gonna get you on that travel thing, because
Yes, I'm ready to just see everything.
Yes, 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 yes.
a simple life, to be quite honest. Again, I don't knock people who want, I'm saying, that want this moon, the stars, and the quasars. I can totally dig it. It's just, again, success is completely, it's a personal,
Yes.
it's a personal thing. Right now, I'm successful. I have
Mhm.
survived these last 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I have learned the lessons that I needed to learn, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I am progressing, you know what I'm saying? It may not be as fast as I may want it, but I continuously progress. I keep going up, 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 up.
That's
So
all that matters.
that's that's successful to me. I have genuine people. Everything that I ask the universe for, I have. I have genuine people in my life. Like marriage, I'm already married. I don't really do the legal thing. I done seen too much. I ain't got time for none of that. Me and my king are going to make sure we take care of each other on our end. He 10 years older than me, so more than likely he'll go before I do. You know what I'm saying? So there's too many legal ways for you to make sure the people that you want to take care of can be taken care of in your absence. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Without all of the
The
extra.
government.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real, 'cause that, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking it. And if you have a lot of businesses, for legal situations, it absolutely makes sense, because at the end of the day, that's what this country is about. But when you talk about love and connection and an actual relationship, that piece of paper can do absolutely nothing. And I'm not about to let the government, you know what I'm saying, dictate where I'm going to be, who I'm going to be with, because like we said, change is constant.
Mhm.
Things can happen in your life, and you already have your life planned out, and a monkey wrench will go right through that and switch the whole situation up. I'm a part of a lot of amputee groups, and a lot of these people are married, and they just lost their arms or lost their legs, and now their husbands and wives are looking at them crazy. Like, that's not the woman or man that I married. You know what I'm saying? They can't deal, with all of the depression and the emotions that come along with losing something like that. They can't handle that. So now their relationships are broken up. So these people think it's something wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem. And that's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, that's the universe telling you that that wasn't the person you're supposed to be with. Because anybody who's really for you is not going to leave you, especially during something like that.
Exactly.
There's
Exactly.
no way that person, a person who truly loves you, is going to do that. So
Yeah.
a lot of times, situations like this is there to show you, who's there for you and who's not. So for me, we are all human beings. I want my king to be happy. Love is a service. So you know what I'm saying? So I want him happy with or without me. And
Yes.
13 years have been great. But if tomorrow he wakes up and something tragic happens and his emotions just completely change and he just can't relate to me no more, if he just has to be, I'm gonna let him with love do what it is that he needs to do for himself, so he can be the best him, because he did not come into this planet to love me and to
And only
get
you.
and only me, and
Yeah.
my emotions, and you know what I'm saying, and fix my abandonment issues. That's not why he's here. You know what I'm saying? So if he 20 years from now decide, baby, we had this good long 30 something year run. I just need to go to this other country and see what life is before I die. Go ahead, baby, do your thing. And same with me. To be quite
Yeah,
honest,
I'm the same way though.
yeah, like I don't know what my life is, you know what I'm saying?
Never mind saying goodbye.
Yeah, like my purpose is to be for people. It's another reason why I don't think I'm gonna ever get married, because when you're married, and it's just like you're obligated, you know what I'm saying,
You
to
have
that
to take
marriage,
that other,
to
that
that
significant other.
situation. right, I have to take them into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas right now, don't get me wrong, I take them into consideration, but this is my life. So what I do and the moves that I make is solely on me, about me, and for me.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So, and I used to bother me, but I love it now. I have the best of both worlds. I have that commitment that most people have in their marriage, and I
With the
also
freedom.
have freedom.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That
But
single.
that's another thing though. Like sometimes people, like what you said, people look at marriage as like an obligation, but again, it's all about perception. And that's why a lot of people are scared to get married because they feel like they're going to lose themselves if they do. It's all about the person you marry. Marriage is just the title, just like mother is just a title or whatever. So it's all about perception. If you get with the right person that allows you to just be who you are and live your life, hey, they like, oh, you going there? Oh, I'm coming with you. Let's go. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're supposed to be. My husband, like, look, Dave, we about to go, we about to go move over to, Paris or whatever. We're gonna figure out what's going over there. Okay, come on, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that's the mindset you're supposed to have when you have a partner. So it's not about an obligation. It's like we're a partner. You, your own individual self, I'm my own individual self, and we're together and we are coming together, and that amplifies what we got going on. Enhance it. And that's what a relationship, a marriage, anything is supposed to be. Not about an obligation or I'm stuck or I can't do this, I can't do that. Live your life. Do what you're supposed to do. Just because you're married don't mean that you stop living. And that's where a lot of people get confused. And that's why a lot of people are scared to get married because they feel like it's an obligation, and it's not. It's just going to enhance. It's supposed to enhance your life, and it's supposed to better you. And you should be able to do the same things you were doing when you were.
And not all marriages look the same. You can't look and be like, this is a cookie cutter marriage and this is how it's supposed to go. You can't, because there's plenty of marriages where people, they are open marriages or open relationships where they have multiple partners. They understand that they're not monogamous, and then you have marriages with multiple partners in the marriage, and then you have like the good old black and white 30-year. I introduced you to my dad and you asked for permission marriage. So it's like
it's what works for you and your
you got to open that box up and realize there is no one set way.
There's no specific way to have a marriage. You make your marriage what you want it.
Religious people, y'all got to tell religious people that, because
and it's like
that is part of the problem.
I understand that, and it is. They're like, oh, you have to do it like this. We got to do this together. We like, oh, if I'm going to church, like you have to be, and that's the thing. That's why I do not like religion. Like I'm spiritual. I believe in God wholeheartedly, but when it comes to religion, it's too formed. It's in the box. It's too cookie cutter. Like, no, like
I'm way too many hypocrites.
It is.
They really good at dishing out what the rules and stuff are supposed to be, but then you look in their personal life and it's like, I'm gonna let you keep your rules and I'm just gonna actually be it. Like,
Right. For me, sex is marriage. That is the hugest commitment that you can make to somebody. That man is literally inside of you. You guys are exchanging DNA, saliva. You know what I'm saying? Like you create life while you're doing that. That is the closest that you will ever be to a person. See what I'm saying? Even if y'all break up, that child you made genetically connect and energetically connects you to that person no matter where they are in the world. You can never see them again, but because that child exists, y'all are connected. You get married, no offense, if y'all feel like 36 hours after y'all did it, it didn't gonna work, you can annul it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't like your marriage, you can go in and pay some lawyer all that money. You know what I'm saying?
You don't even need a lot of money. You're just the right lawyer.
Well, it depends, because I know some people that have been dishing out
it depends
money
on what you got to separate too. Yeah.
Kids, property, and this is what I'm saying, and this is why I won't do it, because when it comes down, when you get into that court, they don't care about your love. They don't care. They're not putting those things into consideration.
Right.
All they care about is the property, what y'all own, and how y'all gonna split it, and how y'all gonna pay them. You know what I'm saying, to do it. That's why I won't. I don't. You know what I'm saying. I'm not really with the whole marriage thing. I personally feel that marriage, you know what I'm saying, when you're having sex with somebody year in, year out and exchanging that energy, for me, That's what marriage is. That is a choice. I am choosing to be with this man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. That's my husband.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't need anybody. And of course, I've dealt with this for years. Married people think, oh, he just got, why buy the cow? You know what I'm saying? When you can get the milk for free. Because first of all, I'm not a cow and I'm not to be bought. So people don't understand, we're not possessions. I am not
Right.
something to be bought, or you know what I'm saying, or any of that. There's no amount of money, there's no amount of resources that can, you know what I'm saying, that can pay for my vagina. That is the portal to life. There's no amount of money you can pay for that. My energy, there's no amount of money that you can truly, you know what I'm saying, pay for my energy.
My soul essence.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So that's just an exchange.
Yeah.
It goes both ways. So yes, we all have our parts to play to roles in our relationships, and that changes. No relationship is 50-50. Sometimes it's 80-20.
That
Sometimes it's
part.
40. Sometimes it's 70-30. And depending on who you are and where you at, though that changes. You can be the 80% this time. Next time you can be the 20. And the point is for y'all to get together, you know what I'm saying, and always make that 100.
Mm-hmm.
That is the point. That is what real relationships, you know what I'm saying, are. So
Be on the same wavelength.
yeah,
You have to have an understanding. Like y'all have to be able to communicate. Communication is so important, and people don't understand that. And it's so important. It's so important to speak up. And again, like you said, learn who these people is before you even get to that point. And when you find somebody that you can just like, it just works, it just click, it's effortless. Like that's
People's ability to
beautiful.
communicate goes back to their childhood trauma too,
It
though.
does.
Because
Oh,
a lot of us who's raised in the homes where you're seen, you're not spoken, unless you're
you're not.
spoken to, you don't speak.
Yeah.
So that takes away that freedom to express how you feel, and then depending on how often you was in fear at home, or there's a lot of reasons why people don't communicate when they need to, but that's something that should be talked over in English. So whenever in freaking high school they're teaching us how to use our words, our spelling, and create these spells, they should express, the power of communication. Because like you said earlier, like all it takes is for you to say something about or speak up about something you don't like for it never to happen again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It don't take a lot.
Communication is so important. And like you said, like that's something that I struggled with as a child because of the stuff that I went through in my home. I was scared to speak up out of fear. Nobody would listen. Everything going on deaf ears. Nobody, just things like that. And it made it hard as I noticed as I got into connections with different men. I learned I was scared to speak up if I felt some type of way, if I was being disrespected. I felt that it was just better to just say anything, even watching what my mama went through, her not speaking up and her being disrespected and things like that. So it definitely is a repeated cycle. And then, like I said, I'm learning to speak up. And it's really good because like a lot of men that I've dealt with and like connections, like if I was to speak up, it would be met with disdain, or it would be met with anger or frustration or something
Right.
wrong with you. And it's so like beautiful to like find somebody that you can speak up and say something to. Like I said, even like the situation with my best friend, you can speak up and say something, and you're not met with that disdain, you're not met with that confrontation, and they just accept you for who you are, and they're like, oh, okay, you feel that way, that's cool, thank you for, what I'm saying, and have conversations like freaking adults instead of like acting like a child and being like, what I'm saying. So that's beautiful. So when you find somebody like that, it doesn't matter if it's a friendship and they let you speak your mind and let you be who you are, then that's something that is really important, and that's something big, because not most people get that. And like pretty much most of my 35 years of living, I've never gotten that. So to be able to get that, that's definitely different, and that's definitely beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Well, y'all are going to just keep going, girl, and it's going to come. You're going to track that right over there to your Scorpio sun. Yes,
Yes.
you are. Well, we're going to wrap this up, ladies. I know y'all got kids and, healing to do. All right.
Crying cats.
Of course, let folks know
Okay.
how to get you. I'll start with you, Miss Misha. Tell the folks where they can find you.
All right, team. So I'm gonna be on Facebook at Misha's Love Tribe. You can book an appointment, reach out to me just if you need any advice, any clarity on anything, I can help with that. If you're in Lexington, greater Lexington area, I'm located downtown Lexington, 117 Cheapside Street. Supposed to be 117 Henry A. Tandy Centennial Park. But yeah, so that's basically where you can find me at, MishaSealingLove.org, and on Instagram at Queen Misha Mouse.
All right. Tell them about yourself, Scorpio sun.
Hey guys, I'm Taquita. I do tarot readings. I have my own YouTube channel. You can search me by Taquita Parker, which is my name. I do daily videos over there about everything: love, career, finances, whatever you want. Also, you can find me at the Mystical Market. It's actually coming up that first weekend of February, actually, the first weekend of every month, Saturday and Sunday. So you can find me there. It's on Newtown Pike at the Clarion if you're in the Lexington area. Also, you can email me at scorpio2sun2@gmail.com if you are looking for a personal reading. And also you can find me on Instagram at realt_tarot and on Facebook at Scorpio Sun.
All right. So since we are talking about, childhood traumas and as far as, getting some information and getting some help, if you are in Kentucky, maybe you ladies want to talk about this. This is their crisis line number. Sometimes, like I'm saying, communication is key. Well, sometimes people feel like they don't have anyone to talk to, someone that you can trust, what I'm saying, to, go out there and help them out. So if you're in the Kentucky area, I would say definitely reach out to these two sisters.
Yes, I was going to say, definitely, if you want, just hit one of us up.
Yes.
And you have to realize when you are experiencing suicidal thoughts, it's not that you're weak and it's not that you're meant to commit suicide. It's that you have an overload of dense emotions that are keeping you in a stuck feeling to where you don't see no way out because you just have so much weight on you. And so finding ways to release that crying is really good. Mental breakdowns are also really good when it comes to healing, you guys. It seems like you're going crazy, but in reality, what you're doing is you're kind of busting open a box of trapped emotions, right? And so it kind of overwhelms you and makes you feel like you're going crazy, but in reality, it's just coming out. And so if you can create a safe environment for you to have a mental breakdown, and if you're not experienced that yet, I had 3 in the first 6 months of my journey. But it was very empowering because there's such clarity that came after that to where I was able to actually feel again and sense and, see that. So, if you feel like suicide is an option for you, know that it's not, that you just simply need to release, let go, and cry, heal, let out the energy that's in you,
All right. Everything she just said. So for me, you guys know who I am. I am Plump Queen. You guys can find me on Facebook at Amspire Media Houston. Yeah, they done deactivated my other joints, so we got to do something brand new for 2022. So Amspire Media Houston is on Facebook. I have several IGs, but you can start with 9 Plump 9 Queen 9. I also have a TikTok at Spiritual Amputee, and you can also hear all of these podcasts and anything that we have going on Anchor. Just go to Amspiration TTV, and that streams to Spotify, Google Podcasts, and we are also streaming on Twitch. Yeah, every time I find out a new platform, we gonna be on it. You're gonna get this, this inspiration. So make sure you guys check me out in all of those places. I found crisis centers here in Georgia. This is the Georgia Crisis and Access Line. And I also found some other crisis line phone numbers if you're talking about sexual assaults, child health, national child abuse, CDC, national HIV and AIDS, substance abuse, and mental health. So these are phone numbers and these are resources for you if, you need some extra help. Again, like I said, a lot of people feel like they don't have anyone, and absolutely you can reach out to me, but I am one person, Scorpio Sun and Misha, we're all one, we're just people and we have our own thing. So if you really need, some extra help, definitely take advantage of these resources. And also, as an amputee, I've been seeing a big issue with this as far as people needing help. Communication is key. People need to talk. People need to vent. People need guidance. You know what I'm saying? For some sort, and we're all looking for that. So I'm going to help out with that. So I'm going to have a helping hand talk therapy service that I'm going to start in April. If you need to vent, if you need some guidance, just need a shoulder to cry on, whatever it is, I'm going to be setting up times. I'm going to set up a system where you can book a slot where you can talk to me. Because I have an inbox and DMs full of people who are trying to talk to me about confidence, talk to me about how they live in their amputee life. And there's also people who are going through depression, who are trying to figure out how am I so happy even though life has done these things to me. And you know what I'm saying? And I want to talk to you all, but there's only 24 hours in the day. So I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, provide this service now starting in April. So absolutely look out for that. You know, my whole purpose is to help heal, you know what I'm saying, and help everyone, you know, find their purpose and fulfill their lives. All right. So that is all that we have for today. We will be
Oh,
back.
one more thing, one more
Up,
thing.
up,
My
up.
TikTok, you guys, if you want to kind of experience Reiki on distance level, my TikTok is Celestial Reiki 33. And so I have many clippets of 60-second mini Reiki sessions that I do.
There you go.
And you can see, kind of feel what Reiki is on my TikTok.
Is that tiger's eye on your arm?
Huh?
Is that tiger's eye on your arm?
Yes, it was
Yes.
gifted to me by a beautiful soul.
I got tiger's eye too.
Yeah. Oh, my little brother found me some tiger's eye beads too in my hair.
Oh, okay.
Everybody been trying to load me up with the protection. I appreciate it.
Yes, tiger's eye. Gotta get it.
I feel left out. My tiger's eye is on my altar.
Hey, you
I got some
it's
on
in
my
the
altar.
vicinity.
All right. Well, I love y'all. We appreciate you. We're going to be back next Saturday Rising, and we're going to be talking to more. Probably going to get a little bit into the more. We're going to do some more holistic stuff. These are the things that we've come up with, you know, that's worked for us. So now we're going to dabble in, you know, what I'm saying, to the actual science of it. So we're going to go and look up for some holistic, you know, remedies, and we're going to get into the regular medical, you know, what I'm saying, versions as well. You need all the help we can get, you know what I'm saying? Whatever works for you is what works for you. We just want to make sure you have all the options available for you. So that's what we'll be doing next Saturday. Make sure you tap in. Make sure you share,
Yes.
share, because we must make this healing go viral. All right. So love y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday.
Love y'all.
And peace.
Peace.